Our lesson today is on algebraic expressions and using them to analyze and solve problems. This is lesson 8.6. In this lesson, we will represent problem situations with algebraic expressions and analyze and solve problems with algebraic expressions. So let's take a look at the first problem. This can be found on page 588. It's called Problem 1, DVDs. It says Jack, Jenny, John, and Janine each collect DVDs. Jack likes Western movies, Jenny likes comedies, John likes action movies, and Janine likes sports movies. Jenny says, I have twice as many DVDs as Jack. John says, I have 4 more DVDs than Jenny. Janine says, I have 3 times as many as John. So that was a lot of information, so I'm going to reread that again and make sure that you do this on your own as well, as many times as you need to until you understand this information here, because it's important. Remember, it's about the problem, not about the process. Or it's about the problem, not in the process, not about the answer. So it says, Jenny says, I have twice as many DVDs as Jack. John says, I have 4 more DVDs than Jenny. Janine says, I have 3 times as many as John. So then if we look at problem 1, it says if Jack has 10 DVDs, determine the number of DVDs for each friend. Explain your reasoning. Make sure you're marking your text as we go here. So if you need to, pause to mark your text. So Jenny, if I look back up at Jenny, it says I have twice as many DVDs as Jack. So if Jack has 10 DVDs, and Jenny has twice as many, how many does Jenny have? Well, twice as many as 10 would be 20 DVDs. John says I have 4 more DVDs than Jenny. Well, we just said that Jenny had 20 DVDs, so that would mean that John would have 24. Now, Janine said that I have 3 times as many as John. Well, if John had 24 DVDs, Janine would have 24 multiplied by 3 DVDs because she has 3 times as many. So 24 multiplied by 3 would equal 72 DVDs. Now what I'd like you to do is pause the video and complete problem D. What would all of the 4 friends together have? So calculate what all 4 friends together would have. When you're finished, unpause the video and move on. So as you can see on the answer key here, like we said, Jenny has 20 DVDs, which is twice as many as Jack. John has 24 DVDs, which is 4 more than Jenny has. And Janine has 72 DVDs, which is 3 times as many as John. You'll notice how the answers are all explained with their reasoning. It said explain their reasoning, so make sure that you've done that as well. So altogether they would have 126 DVDs if you added all those up together. So back to the problems here. Number 2, if Janine has 24 DVDs, determine the number of DVDs for each friend. Explain your reasoning. So now we're starting with Janine. So before we started with Jack, now we're starting with Janine, so we have to think backwards a little bit. So Janine has 24 DVDs. I'm going to reread that part again. Janine has 3 times as many as John. So if she has 3 times as many as John and she has 24 DVDs, she would have 24 divided by 3 DVDs, which would be 8 total DVDs. So looking down here at John would have 24 divided by 3 DVDs, which would be 8 DVDs. Now Jenny, it says for Jenny, well, if we look at John, because we know John's information, I have 4 more DVDs than Jenny. So compared to Jenny, John has 4 more. So if John has 8, Jenny would have, think about that and make your answer. And Jack We look back up the information. Jenny says, I have twice as many DVDs as Jack. So take a moment, answer that question as well. When you're ready, unpause the video. So if we look at the answer key here, so John has 8 DVDs because Janine has 3 times as many. 24 divided by 3 equals 8. Jenny has 4 DVDs because John has 4 more than Jenny. So 8 minus 4 equals 4 DVDs. Jack has 2 DVDs because Jenny has twice as many DVDs as Jack. So 4 divided by 2 equals 2. And then all together, the friends would have 38 total DVDs. So back to the problems here. It says for number 3, let X represent the number of DVDs that Jack has. Write an algebraic expression that represents the number of DVDs for each friend. So we're back to Jack. He's our starting point. So if you look at the information here, Jenny says, I have twice as many DVDs as Jack. So if Jack has X DVDs, Jenny would have 2 times X because she has twice as many. Now, John, remember, he has 4 more DVDs than Jenny. So if Jenny has 2X DVDs, record your answer as to how many DVDs John has as an algebraic expression. And then the same thing with Janine. She has 3 times as many as John. So what would her number of DVDs be as an algebraic expression? Okay. And then all 4 friends together. Remember, you have to add those expressions together. So if we take a look at the answer key, and we'll take a look after you've completed that on your own. So if you haven't, pause the video and we'll take a look at the answer key when you're finished. But it's really important that you try it on your own first. So go ahead, try it on your own. If you're finished, then unpause the video. So like we said before, Jenny has 2 times X DVDs, or 2X. John has 2X plus 4 DVDs because he has 4 more than Jenny. And then Janine's is a little different here, and you can see the distributive property at play. Now let's try and make sense of this. So 2X plus 4, that's what John has, but we have to multiply all that by 3 because Janine has 3 times as many as John, and 2X plus 4 is what John had. So if we distribute 3 multiplied in parentheses 2x plus 4, 3 multiplied by 2x would equal 6x, and then 3 multiplied by 4 equals 12. Remember, you can't combine it in x and a number. You can't combine a variable and a number. They're 2 different things. So it's like apples and oranges. Okay. So then if we wanted to combine all 4 friends together, Jack, remember, he was X DVDs. Jenny was 2X DVDs. John was 2X plus 4 DVDs. And Janine was 3 multiplied by 2X plus 4 DVDs. Or 6X plus 12, if you use the distributive property. So if we combine all those, we can combine all the x's and we combine all the numbers. So x plus 2x is 3x, plus 2x is 5x, plus the 6x that we distributed would be 11x. Then for the numbers, we have 4 plus 12, which would give you 16 total. So your simplified expression for part E would be 11x plus 16. 11x plus 16. Make sure you get that down in your book if you need to make changes before we move on. Now for problem 4, it says use your expression from part E to determine the number of DVDs they have altogether if Jack has 10 DVDs, 2 DVDs, 25 DVDs, and 101 DVDs. So in this problem, you're going to have to go ahead and put those numbers in for X. So 10 would go in for X, 2 would go in for X, 25 would have to go in for X, and 101 would go in for X, so that you can simplify the expression. So go ahead and do that now, simplifying the expression using those numbers for X. When you're finished, again, unpause the video and check out the next portion of the lesson. So if we put X or 11 or 10 in for X, 11 multiplied by 10 would be 110, plus 16 would be 126. So if they had 10 DVDs, or if X equaled 10 DVDs, they'd have 126 DVDs. If X equaled 2 DVDs, there would be 11 multiplied by 2 plus 16, or 22 plus 16 DVDs, or 38 DVDs. And then for C, if you put 25 in for X, 11 multiplied by 25 plus 16, so 275 plus 16 equals 291. And then the last one here, if you put 101 in for X plus 16, you'd have 1,111 plus 16, or 1,127 DVDs. And the last problem I'm going to do with you today is to write an expression to represent the number of DVDs for the males and the females. So now you have to take a look at the information from the male and female perspective. So Jenny, remember, she had twice as many DVDs as Jack. John has 4 more DVDs than Jenny, and Janine 3 times as many as John. So if we think about those expressions that we had before, Jenny had 2x DVDs. Janine had 3 times 2x plus 4, or 6x plus 12 DVDs. So you have to put those two together. So 2x plus 6x is 8x plus 12. So that would be the female. And for the male, Jack had X DVDs, and John had 2x plus 4 DVDs. So combined would be 3x plus 4. And there you can see the solutions there. Now the rest of the problems that we're going to do today, we're going to work on problem 6, which is a similar type of problem, but now it's from Janine's perspective. So let Y represent the number of DVDs Janine has. Okay, so you're looking at things from Janine's perspective, and you have similar problems to solve on page 590. Then for number 9, you have to look at things from Jenny's perspective, and you have similar problems to solve for Jenny. And then lastly, for number 12, you're going to look at things from John's perspective. Okay, we got things from John's perspective, and see if you can complete those algebraic expressions. We're going to finish page 592 today. We'll check that tomorrow, so if you have questions, come with questions. But thanks for watching, and rewatch any part of the video that you have questions on. Thanks. Bye.